Hi, Sujat, can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, you are audible too.
Wait, I'm just looking how can I present it. Are you recording this session? Sujat, are you recording this session now? Have you started the
It's
recording?
automatic recorded when start the meeting. Can I stop
Oh,
it now? No?
no. Um, I think we should start the meeting at 2 p.m. then. So, when the recording is so start time, I think.
Okay, or we have 5 minutes left. Let's see how many people join. It's actually noon,
Okay,
so
okay. Hi everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Um, we'll just start the meeting in just a few moments. I'm waiting this. Sajjad, can you please confirm if you can see my screen?
Yeah, your skin is visible.
Okay, I'm just starting in a moment. Okay, my screen is visible, right?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. Okay, let's start the session. Hi everyone. I welcome you all in this session. In this session, we will explore RAG with Azure OpenAI services. Okay. My name is Jaweria Batool, and along with me is Sajjad Rahman. And
Hello everyone, this is Sajjad.
and we how and why machine learning in this session we'll talk about how and why machine learning and deep learning are transformative technologies, and we'll see how deep learning and machine learning leads to LLM, which are large language models, and then we will see what is RAG. Okay, and in the end we'll basically build an application with RAG. Okay, so let's start with first understanding a bit about machine learning, what is machine learning and machine learning fundamentals. So, so the definition of machine learning is the systems that learn and improve from data without explicit programming. Okay. So in machine learning, basically we are feeding data to machines, and machines basically learn from that data which we give them. Okay. So after making the machine learn, the machine will be capable of answering some specific or performing some specific tasks. So this is what machine learning is basically about. There are different types of machine learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. These are different types in which machine learning is performed. So, for example, in supervised learning, classification is done and regression. We make classification and regression in supervised learning. But in unsupervised learning, clustering is done and it is dimensionally reduction. Yeah, and in reinforcement learning, we use basically train the model based on experience. Okay, like the game strategies and in robotics. So why is robotics there? Because robots basically learn the specific robots which are trained using reinforcement learning. They learn by mistakes, you can say. Okay. So machine learning is the backbone of many intelligent systems today. At its core, machine learning involves systems that learn from data and improve over time without being explicitly programmed. So we don't need to program it explicitly, but it learns over time with experience, with you can say new data, and with new learning. Okay, so these were the three main types, which were supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Main difference between them is that supervised learning, where models are trained on labeled data. Okay, so in supervised learning, models are trained on labeled data. For example, I think you all must have heard about the predicting house prices based on features uh, like location and size. For example, predicting the price of a specific house based on the location and size. And so this will involve in supervised learning. In unsupervised learning, the goal is to uncover hidden patterns in data and like I mentioned earlier, which it is clustering uh, customers based on purchasing behavior. Okay, and the difference how reinforcement learning is different from these two is that in reinforcement learning, agents learn by interacting with the environment. Okay, so receiving rewards or penalties, as in training AI to play chess. So when AI is trained to play chess, it basically learns based on the moves. If it makes a right move, then it will learn that placing this on this specific position is the right decision or wrong decision based on the decision it makes. Okay. So the applications of machine learning include recommendation systems, different fraud detections, and even self-driving cars. Okay, so basically, machine learning is everywhere around us now. The next part is learning, and we'll learn about the basics of deep learning. So if we just look at the definition, so deep learning is a subset of machine learning that uses neural networks to stimulate human decision making. So these neural networks are basically made on the similar pattern in which the neural networks in the human brain are okay. So they are based on a similar pattern. So deep learning takes machine learning to the next by mimicking the artificial neural networks. Okay. So here's how it works. So neural networks consist of layers. Which layers there are layers and output layers. Okay. And also, there are different activation functions like sigmoid, softmax, and ReLU. Okay. So each neuron in the neural network processes data using activation functions like this with these activation functions which are sigmoid or softmax. So training these neural networks involves optimizing weights through back propagation and all algorithms like gradient descent. So what are the applications of deep learning? The application of deep learning are like image recognition, speech to text, or different large language models, which is our next step. Large language model is basically included in a sort of application in the deep learning. So deep learning powers advanced applications such as image recognition, speech to text conversion, and large language models, we will discuss next. So the next part in this is learning about large language models. What are large language models and how we use them in building RAG? Definition of language model is the same simple word is trained on vast amount of vast amount of text understand and generate human language. The type of deep learning models which are trained of massive amount of data, they understand and then generate a language incredibly powerful. So what are some examples of the LLMs we'll see through the evolution? So first of all, we have the GPT, which is I think will be very much familiar with generative pre-trained transformer. It is known for its ability to generate coherent and creative text. This is the same which we nowadays use in ChatGPT or understanding language context. Okay, and the next part is variation is from GPT. GPT-3 4 and P5. Okay, so these are some other models in LLM. So LLMs is all about deep learning models. The model understands it and then okay. So at the heart of LLMs lies the transformer architecture, mechanism. This allows models to focus on the most relevant parts of code, enabling understanding. So, what are the capabilities and limitations of large language models? So, what makes large language models transformative? Let's look at their capabilities. So, first of all, we have the capabilities here. They excel at natural language understanding and natural language generation. So, basically, as I said earlier, we train data in the form of text, and it also generates further answers or output in human-like language. That is the reason why it excels in natural language understanding. You're basically putting in the text, right? The text is obviously going to be in some sort of a language. So that is why the LLMs have a, you can say, advantage or pro thing when they're in this, that they understand natural languages. Okay, and also applications. The applications for large models with understanding of natural language are content creation, and some even assist in coding. So, as the example earlier here, ChatGPT, it understands language, right? So it is a capability of natural language of ChatGPT, or you can say LLM. So, however, the LLMs are not perfect, and so they have some limitations. What are those limitations? First of all, they rely heavily on the data they are trained on. So in models as well that we create using our LLMs, it is all about the data that we feed them. So it depends on all the text or all the information basically that was brings with that transformer. Okay, so it will depend highly on that data how each model will be. Okay, so it is domain specific knowledge may require augmentation. And also, another thing is that they sometimes produce outputs that lack interpretability or factual accuracy. So, in this context, we basically need to be responsible to feed accurate data to the model, so it will generate the right amount of the right output for us. Okay. So, but why LLMs are transformative? So, despite having many limitations, LLMs democratize AI by making sophisticated language tasks accessible. Okay, so imagine writing a document, creating marketing content or even drafting legal contracts with AI assistance. Their ability to bridge human-computer interaction gap is a game changer. So, we know that LLMs do have some limitations, but it is basically their AI-powered application, and also they're bridging the gap between human and computers. They are basically closing this gap and making a much better human-computer interaction. So that is why LLMs are very transformative. Some examples of LLMs are the code generation. Why are they so transformative? I think if you've ever tried using ChatGPT for code generation, I will know that how accurate to some amount of precision, ChatGPT does provide you a very accurate code. Okay. Also, it does language translation. There are some models, a language model that perform language translation or summarization tool. So it is basically because of these highly AI-powered applications that LLMs have a transformative impact in our lives now. Okay. The next topic we have retrieval-augmented generation with LLMs, and from here, my co-host will take on to describe the next uh, RAG application. Okay, Dada, are you here?
Yeah,
You in the
thank
meeting?
thank you. Should I share my
Okay, let
screen?
me just, if you want, you can share your screen. Yeah, you can share and you stop it. Okay, I have stopped sharing. You can share your screen now.
Okay, my screen is visible now.
Just a moment. It is digital also. So after Sajjad explained RAG, we'll basically build a RAG application with Azure AI. Okay, so now I think your screen is visible. You are able to see it at my end.
Okay.
Just 1 minute.
Thank you, Jaweria and the attendees. Already you know that the history of RAG. Basically, RAG is just a framework that improve the output of LLM. Uh, Already my host shared the how ML and its limitation. After that, we introduce with deep learning and the latest model, large language model. So having we have the large language model, why we need another update? First of all, everything has there some sort of limitation, and the LLM. The main problem is that it give us output the based on the pre-trained data. So here the and sometimes the output is not factual. So here RAG mitigate the goal, and so the RAG instance for retrieval augmented generation. Sorry for that. Why screen freeze? Okay, sorry for the technical glitch. I think it's visible now. So the question comes in our mind maybe that why its name actually RAG. Okay, so the author in 2020 when they solved the problem and try to give it, they don't actually focus on the name and the here the code. If you look at the Patrick at that time, they build a paper which actually mitigate the problem. They introduce or they try to add something extra such as external data add as a large language model can give the on time data. So that's why the name is reg. And if you want to know more about the paper, name is uh, Retrieval Augmented Generation for Knowledge Intensive NLP Tasks, that's published on 2020. So the basic component of React is particularly need two things, retriever and generator. It retrieve data and require information from the source data, and then it with help of pre-trained model it can generate the next output, and after that it combined to the website that we actually see. So here, if you look these two picture, the first one is our considering as a chat GPT, for example. So what it gives or what it actually do, whenever we give any prompt, it has some pre-trained data. Based on this, it can give us, sometimes it can give a general answer that is very predictable, sometimes it cannot. And the next picture, you can see that base model plus user data. So in the middle of the neural network architecture. So whenever we add external data, first of all, uh, compared to the chat GPT, it gives us directly an answer, and it takes sometimes and to collect that is the information is match on our external data. After that, it return the data, and if we look at this, we can see that the two output are different. Here is a more clear diagram of RAG workflow, how actually it works. So whenever we add any external data source, it can be a PDF file or CSV file like this, then it can retrieve the document. After that, it convert into the machine readable format, and sometimes it can be say we call that in with help of embedding model, and then it store in the vector database. And as a user, whenever we search on something, give prompt, so it also convert with help of embedding model, then query and embedded query together, uh, some sort of do in the vector database. After finding the relevant information, then it can return again our interface and what we actually see there. So the question maybe comes in our mind that does RAG solution everything? No, it has also some limitation. And nowadays, we can say we are living in the agentic era where agent based on the reg. So day by day it's going to update. And here we just consider the basic or you can say the linear reg system. So in our real uh, use cases, we can see the use of reg is enhance customer support with accurate response, healthcare, and also uh, legal tech, where it can give us the factual document analysis and summarization. So in our session, the like after completing this, my Jaweria will show you how actually we with help of Azure we can build a chat system with of RAG. So here is actually the workflow of Azure. So whenever we give any the prompt with help of OpenAI ChatGPT model, and you can see that the data source today we use a PDF file, and after that it uh, extract data, and you will describe later more about this. So what we have to need an Azure subscription. So how do we find? As a student, we can find it with help of Google GitHub Student Developer Pack, and it's free. This not required any credit card for opening an account. Also, we need two additional Azure storage account and Azure AI service. So why now the question, I just want to add some little advantage and disadvantage of RAG over LLM. So as already I said that LLM work based on retained data. So whenever we have private data or we want to know the latest news, we cannot find the answer of from the LLM model like ChatGPT. That's why we need to add some external data. And cost efficiency in fine tuning is very cost efficiency compared to the RAG. And disadvantage is that, yeah, whenever we add the additional data, so it can be complex. Now I'd like to invite Zaria to present the code and the project.
Okay. Am I audible? Can you hear me,
Yeah,
Sajat?
yeah, you're
Okay,
audible.
let me just share my screen in just a moment. Mm, just one. Okay. Okay, I've shared it. Can you see my screen now?
No,
Yeah.
it's a white screen. Maybe it takes some. Let me check.
Okay.
No, it's a
I
blank
can see
screen.
the. Wait a minute. Let me share it again. Okay. This time. Okay. Um. Can you see now? I've shared.
Mm, no, it's white screen. basically.
Just one moment, I think. Okay, can you see my screen now?
No, the it's same.
Okay. I have shared my screen now once again. I hope it you will be able to see it. It is saying I have shared my screen now. Okay, it is showing me here.
Yeah, but let me ask the audience that they can share. Okay, in the earlier when you shared your screen, everything is visible, but now we can see anything. Have you used incognito mode or something like this?
No, I haven't used anything like this. I can because it's showing me now here that I have shared my screen. The option to stop sharing it. It's showing
Okay,
me.
maybe audience can see. Okay, you can carry on your presentation, please.
Okay. Okay, so right now I have opened an article from Microsoft Learn. It is about retrieval of augmented generation in Azure AI. Okay, so it is just a basic article. I'm just sharing it so you guys know where the resources you can find for if you want to learn about RAG or building with RAG. Okay. Okay, so in this article, they have explained about RAG. So if anyone wants to read about RAG or basic coding, they can follow this article. I'm basically showing this article to tell you how we are going to build the RAG application today in Azure AI. So first of all, so basically they've given us this piece of code to build the RAG application in RAG. Okay, so as Sujat explained, that there are few components in RAG, which are the retrieval, the combiner, and one more that really generates the data. Okay, so here we can see that there's a prompt. Okay, a prompt which defines what the model is going to be about. Then we have a query, and here it is all about which model it is using. It is using a GPT-335 model and the responses. Okay, so we'll build a similar thing in Azure. So how you can do this is by going in your Azure account. So basically here I have built a basic RAG chatbot. So if you want to build it from beginning, you can go to your Azure account and Azure OpenAI here. Okay, and you need to build a new project. Okay, so here you need to fill basically all the credentials. You need to associate it with a group. If you don't want, you need to create a new one, then you can create a new one. I have basically created this RAG one, so I can see this resource here. Okay, so let me select this. Now you can give your project any name. Okay, so you can give it any name. Let me just give it this. Okay, so then select any pricing tier. I'm selecting standard as 0. Pressing next. I'm letting the default settings. Next, once again, the default setting. Now, if I press again, it will review, and you simply need to create. Press on the create button, and it will generate that project for you or service for you. I'm not creating here because I have already done this, and I have this RAG project here. Okay, so if I go home, So you can see this is my RAG application, and this is all the setting for this. Okay, I can see the application name and the API keys if I ever need them in the future, the subscription ID, etc. So once you generate that project from here, you will see something similar like this. We are basically now in the Azure AI service tab. You can see here azureai.com. We are in the Azure AI, OpenAI service, and here I have the project, which is RAG application. Okay, so we have built the basic application. Now, if we want to do the chat here, the next step that we need to do is to build a deployment model. What is that deployment model? Okay, so if you go here on model catalog, you can see all these different models. Now, what are these models? You can see O1 model, GPT-4o model, the O1 preview, O1 mini, GPT-4. These are all the models which are provided by Azure OpenAI. Okay, so you can see here DALI 3, which is text to image. It will take a text as an input and generate the image. So we can choose any of these model based on our needs. Okay, or if any model you like, there is GPT-35 Turbo Instruct, this one Turbo, different versions of a model, DALI 2 and 3. Whisper is for speech recognition. So you can go to this tab and make yourself familiar with all the models. I am for now choosing GPT-4o mini. Okay, I've already, so this is how you can deploy a model. Okay, so here now you can see all the description for the model. Like it enable, they've told that like a broad range of tasks with its low cost and latency. So you can read all about the model here. From here, if you want, you can just read all of these and the versions, the ID. So here are the support data types, which is which input data types it will take. It can take text, image, and audio as well, but it will reply in text. Okay, so these are all the functionality that a specific model will have, and based on your specific project or functionality that you need in your project, you can choose any of these models. Okay. So, okay, so I have this GPT-4 mini model, and I know that it will answer me in text, and it will take image and text and audio as input. Okay, so now if I want to deploy this model, I simply need to go on deploy. Okay, so from here you need to give your model any name. You can either choose the same thing. You can either change or write any model, any name you want. Okay, with specific in syntax, but I'm keeping the name as it was just for the sake of ease and also to remember later that which model it is. This is a model name and version, the specific, the capacity it will take. So this actually tells 10K tokens per minute. It actually tells how many tokens it will be able to take any minutes. So if you want to customize any of these things, for example, I want to increase the tokens. Okay, so I can simply increase the tokens from here. I want it to be, let's say, 200. Okay, 206 it is, which is good for now. Okay, 201K. Okay, okay, now you simply need to press on deploy, and it will take some time for deployment. Okay, okay, so it will take so it has now deployed. It has shown me like all this name, the standards, created all this basic version system settings. So if you go on open in playground, it will take you back to the chat now. Okay, so here you can choose any model that you want in your RAG application. So as we just discussed in the slides as well, that the RAG has basically retriever, generator, and combiner. So what the retriever does is that it retrieves that data from any model, you can say, which any data that has been fetched to it. So okay, so the next model is the generator. Generator is basically models like these, like GPT-4o models or any model that you're using. These models are used, and these models will generate any type of data, any type of new information or new text, based on the data that you have fetched to which you have given to the model. Okay, so now here you can see that I have chosen this GPT-4 or mini. This is the model that I just deployed. GPT-4 or mini. This is the model that I just deployed. So if I chose this model and I ask queries here, so this model will be used to answer the queries. Okay, for example, let's say I write here. Okay, so now it is using GPT-4 or mini model to answer me that question. Let's ask it one more question. What is RAG? Okay, so it is using this model, and you can use more than one model in your chat. How? Like I was using GPT-4 mini just now. Let's say I want to switch to GPT-4o. I had already deployed this model, so I'm able to use it. If you want to use GPT-4o, you'll need to go back to the model catalog and deploy the GPT-4o version. Okay, so now this is GPT-4o version, and now let's ask the same question from GPT-4o version. Okay, so the different answers will be provided by the models based with the model that you're using. Okay, so here you can see that it is providing me the answer. Just a moment, let me just organize it. Okay, let's just hide it. Okay, now you can see this was the answer generated by GPT-4o mini. And now this is the answer generated by GPT-4o. GPT-4o, I think, is more trained than GPT-4o mini, right? So it will provide a more extensive answer than the other one, or with more functionalities. Okay, so this was all about the model. So now what if I want to give this model, this is a model here in front of me. Okay, so what if I want to give specific instruction to this model? So if you want the model to answer in a specific way or to perform a specific instruction, you just simply need to write your instruction here. Okay, so right now it is basic query here that you are an AI assistant that helps people find information. Let's say that I give this model an instruction, only answer in yes or no. Okay, so I'm basically asking this model to answer in only yes or no. Okay, and don't say anything else. Okay, so anything that you want the model to follow, any instruction you want the model to follow, you simply need to write your instruction here and then apply changes. Okay, so right now the changes have been applied. Now let's say if I ask any question from this model, I am asking the same question that I asked earlier. For example, I asked this question here, right? Let's copy this same question, same query. Here it gave me an extensive answer telling me about itself that I'm just a computer program, so I don't have feelings. Okay, an extensive answer. But now after giving this instruction, if I ask it the same query, let's see what happens. So yes, why is it giving me this is just a simple word answer, whereas earlier it gave me an extensive answer but telling me about itself and also asking me how can it exist me today. It's because I gave it in the instruction. Okay, I gave it the instruction, only answer in yes and no and don't say anything else. Okay, that is why it is giving me just one word answer. Let's ask one more question. What is RAG? A similar question, a query that I answered earlier here 2 times, and it gave me a whole detail about RAG and how it works. Let me just hide this section here. Okay, now earlier it gave me a whole extensive answer about what is RAG, how it works, the key benefits of RAG, use cases, and okay, so now if I ask the same query, so it is answering me just a one word yes. Okay, now let's change the instruction. Okay, and answer as if you were a Okay, so here I'm saying I'm giving the instruction to the model that answer each query as if you were a pirate. So let's see now what I happens if I gave it the same query. What is RAG? Okay, so I gave it the same query, and this is the new. Okay, wait a moment. I need to apply these changes, right? I applied these changes, and now I'll see a new chat. Every time you make any change in the instruction, it will basically start a new chat here. And okay, so here now you can see that I gave the instruction to the model that answered every query as if you were a pirate. So here you can see it is answering me in a specific pirate style. Okay, so this is how RAG application works. So you see, we use a specific model, which is in this case the GPT-4o. It is performing the task of a generator. Okay, so here the model GPT-4o is acting as a generator, and it is combining any further data or instruction that I'm providing. Which instruction? This is the instruction. This is the instruction. It is combining this instruction with the model and generating a specific data for me. Okay, here in this chat. So this is how a RAG application work. So furthermore, we can add one more functionality into our RAG application, which is as we talked in the sorry, as we discussed in the RAG section, that that one more part is that you give specific data to your model. Okay, so here I'm simply giving an instruction, but it is not as such a data in itself. So if you want to give an extensive data to your model, you simply need to do is sorry, not this. Here you can see add your data. So here add a data source. So so you can select here how you want to add more data to it. You can either provide an Azure AI search, you can provide a URL or web address, okay, or you can upload files. Okay, so from here you just need to create some resources. Like I need to create a resource going here. You can follow this link. Okay, if you follow this link, you need to create just a resource and also an Azure AI search. Okay, here is the resource. Okay, after you create these two things, you will be able to select it from here. Okay, and then you need to just follow simply give it a name or index of this thing, and after that you will be able to upload your file in it. So how can you upload files in it? You can upload your files in PDF or in any other format that you want, but you just need to make these resources here. Okay, so what happens after you upload these resources? So what will happen after that is that it will basically integrate all the data, that new data that you provided with the model that we are using. And then after that, okay, so you can add your data here. As I told earlier, if you want to upload a file, you can go here and you just need to select from here. Like I'm selecting this. Okay, and an index name will be given to it, or you can just format it. After that you will be able to, let me just okay. Okay, you need to give it an index name. After that, here you can drag any of your file, any PDF file. You can any file in PDF, docs, PPT, or text, or markdown. Okay, any of these file data you can provide in any of this format, and after you integrate that data here, you'll be able to upload it. Okay, so what will happen after that is that it will integrate that data with this model that you are using. Okay, with this model that you're using and the instruction that you're providing. So basically it will retrieve all the data. It will generate using the model and following instructions, and it will combine all of these to provide you a specific answer in your query. So once you upload data here, you will be able to answer to ask questions from the model specifically about that data. For example, if you specifically upload data about in a PDF about specific topic, you will be able to ask the this model about that specific data, about the specific topic or any data that you provided. So this is how a RAG application works. Okay, so once again, let me just review it. It will retrieve data from anything that you provide. Okay, and it will generate using the model and the instruction, and then it will combine both of these to provide you the specific answer. Okay, so this was all about how we can build RAG in Azure AI. Okay, so if you just click on here, view code. Okay, here you can see all the code, all the model in basically simple source code. Okay, so here you can see that we have all the Azure and OpenAI libraries, you can say, and then these are the specific endpoints and deployment that you need. I'm basically using GPT-4o. That is why it is written GPT-4o here. If I use GPT-4o mini here, like I'm using different version, different model here. Let's say I'm using this one. So you will see in the source code that it has changed the model now. So this is telling what is the model. Okay, and this is the RAG application azure.com, the link. And here it will initialize the Azure OpenAI client with extra ID authentication. So this is the client that has been made. And if you just scroll down a bit here, so here this is the instruction that I provided. Answer as if you were a pirate, and the type is text. It's going to answer me in text, and the text is going to be like the instruction that I gave. If I just change this instruction from here and okay, provide answers based on your information. Okay, so if we change the instruction here, you will see that wait a moment, let me just apply changes. So this is, you can see the change here now. This is so basically this is the instruction that we provide to the model, and then it will basically include speech result if speech is enabled. Okay, but we have not enabled speech here. GPT-4o is basically right now working on text only. Okay, so here is basically all the functionality that simple code. Basically, it's a complex code here which create the client, and after completion, it will convert it to JSON and print it for you, which comes here. Okay, which is here. Just one moment. If I go back to here, and in this article, the prompt was basically about instructing for finding specific hotel. So if I give this instruction, and now if I ask this query from the model. Okay, so let's say I ask this query. Let me just apply changes. Okay, so in this query, you can see in this prompt, you can see that it is asking the model to be a friendly assistant that recommends hotels. Okay, the other thing is that answer only the facts listed in the list of sources, and if any information is not provided, if any information isn't enough information below, so you don't know, say you don't know. Okay, and one more thing here is that, okay, so this is all the prompt, and now if I just ask it the query here. Okay, so here I had asked it to provide me specific information, and if it does not know, simply say I don't know. I had asked the model in the prompt. So in this case, you can say if it does not know the answer, it will simply say no. It won't generate with itself. Okay, so this was all about how we can build with RAG application in Azure AI. Okay, let me just share the other screen with you guys. here. Okay, so this was the basic component of RAG which we saw. The retriever, it was retrieving the documents. Generator, which was the model that we were using, and the combiner. Okay, so then we had the okay, then we made the project with Azure OpenAI service. So that was all how we make project with Azure AI. Okay, you can use any model that you want. So the key takeaways from this session were understanding the basic machine learning and deep learning uh, basics, and providing a strong foundation for it. And then we used we learned about LLMs, and we made Azure OpenAI with GPT-4o and 4o Mini, and different, and how using different models provide you different answers. Okay, and RAG enables smarter domain-specific application for of LLMs. So, if anyone here have any questions, or any question regarding the model deployment or Azure AI, you can ask, or anything related to the topic as well.
Thank you, Jaria, for your uh, excellent work. I see there is no question in chat box.
Okay, okay. Thank you for your attention. I hope you find this session insightful. I'd love to hear your feedback or anything. You can reach out to me and Sajad on LinkedIn. Okay. Okay. I see that there are no questions. Let me just see in the chat as well. Okay, I think we should end this session. You can join, connect with me on LinkedIn, and meet with Sajad as well. Thank you for joining this session. I hope you enjoyed and learned from this session. I really appreciate your attendance. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you
Bye.
everyone. And bye. Also, thank you, Jaria, for your time.
No problem. Thanks.